morning, good evening, or good night, I guess depending on where you're watching this from. My name is Eric Howard. I am the Director of Marketing at Troy. I'm excited to welcome you to our first webinar for the Innovative Insights Troy webinar series. The goal of this webinar series is to showcase innovations in the secure document space. Before we begin, I would like to go over some ground rules. All questions will be taken at the end, but ask them as you think of them in the chat window. For the web version, make sure you hit send or submit. You have to hit send or submit for both versions, but the web version can be a little tricky. With our efforts to consistently improve these webinars, be on the lookout for a brief survey later today and let us know what you liked and what you did not like so we can constantly improve. We have 4 webinars scheduled so far for this series, and if you want to register for the rest of the remaining ones this year, you can register for them at troygroup.com under the resource section and click webinar. Now, I want to introduce today's speaker, Bob Eyrig. Bob is a highly accomplished professional with a proven track record of success in his role at Troy, where he serves as the product manager for Troy AssurePay. With an extensive background in product management and a deep understanding of the market, Bob has played a pivotal role in the development and growth of Troy's SaaS offerings. Through his strategic vision and relentless dedication, Bob has driven the success of Troy AssurePay, enabling the company to become a leading player in the industry. Bob's expertise in product development, market research, and customer engagement has allowed him to consistently deliver innovative solutions that meet the evolving needs of Troy's clients. With his unwavering commitment to excellence and unwavering passion for his work, Bob continues to spearhead Troy's advancements and cements our position as a trusted and successful organization in the secure document space. With that being said, Bob, I'll hand it over to you and let you take it away.
Yeah, and thanks for the kind introduction, Eric. Really appreciate the opportunity to kick off the Innovative Insights series. We really do have lots of good content over the next few months, really great speakers, and look forward to being a part of that over the next few months. I guess some of you will see me again here on October 26th and November 9th. So this whole thing is really very exciting. So again, thank you for the introduction, and I suppose we can go ahead and roll right into it. So today's agenda, again, it's really about discussing the ways in which AssurePay Teller, this latest software product Troy has added to its portfolio, can assist tellers in the field of or in the areas of security and productivity and efficiency. But I always like to start out with just giving everybody kind of an idea of how this thing is going to go. In terms of an agenda. So we'll start by introducing Troy. Maybe some of you in the audience might not have a deeper understanding of Troy's history and some of the products that we produce within the secure printing solution space. And obviously introduce the main topic at hand, which is the AssurePay Teller. We'll go into a little bit of the story and history of the product, specifically what the banking software market looks like, target use cases for AssurePay Teller, and then we'll kind of wrap things up in the form of a demonstration. And certainly at the very end, like Eric had mentioned, we will allow some time to answer some questions that you may have. So that being said, a bit about us and where AssurePay Teller fits into the product portfolio. And like I mentioned, Troy is truly a secure printing solutions provider, providing a range of customizable solutions, whether it be for small to medium-sized businesses that use QuickBooks as a business management platform, medium to large size organizations that need to print payroll, EOBs, other types of secure personal financial documents, And certainly we also focus on software that enables our clients to print medium to high volume production, or in medium to high volume production settings, and so on. In terms of innovation, Troy certainly has a history of it. I won't go through every single bullets or milestone here, but just a few key things to point out in terms of our history and its innovation, or innovation at Troy. 1975 certainly being very interesting in the collaboration with Fed to create the U.S. Treasury check. So that's certainly very interesting and gives a sense of depth in this space. 1993, Troy became the only HP OEM authorized partner to enhance the security features and functions of HP printers. 2021, we launched the sister product, the AssurePay Cloud, which is now referred to as Check, that printing, check printing and document printing software. And today, introducing AssurePay Teller as a cloud-based solution for printing teller documents. When it comes to banking specifically, Troy has deep relationships with providing solutions to in this space on a global basis. Customers like JP Morgan, Chase, Bank of America, Citibank, Barclays, just to name a small sample size. First we really want to kind of address the elephant in the room, and that being, yes, check printing is overall on the decline by about 4% year over year over time, and this is going back quite some time, 30 years or more. And for the past 30 years, it's been said that checks are simply going to go away, and many times sooner rather than later. But it still remains that check printing banks are transacting using this method approximately 80% of all transactions. So, while there's some truth to checks being, at least the volume of checks being on the overall decline, it's still a very important tool for making transactions, especially at banking institutions. So again, just wanted to more or less address that elephant in the room. Why are we still talking about printing checks? It's still very relevant, considering those statistics. But as it comes to Troy and where AssurePay Teller fits into the whole mix, we truly offer an end-to-end check and documents printing solution set that is perfect for banks, whether it be the secure blank stock that enables banks to take on an on-demand printing approach to check printing, the micro printers that we offer with that gives extra functionality that they need, such as the micro line alignment and the micro font set, adding digital signatures and locking trays as a part of our security first approach, and increasing the efficiency of bank operations workflows. And to tie everything together, that's where AssurePay Teller software fits in, and what we're going to be introducing today, the on-demand printing side of things. So without further ado, AssurePay Teller. And some of you might be asking, I already have AssurePay Teller, the on-premises version of it. So we now, or I guess AssurePay Teller moving forward is going to be referred to, or I guess is associated with the cloud-based platform that we're introducing. So just wanted to also, point that out. Some of you may recognize Teller as an on-premise solution. It is moving, and generally speaking, Troy is moving to cloud-based solutions, and that's really what we're introducing today, the cloud-based deployment of AssurePay Teller, which for bank operations, the tellers, the associates, is meant to, and I like this statement, so I'm going to read it, empower those tellers to improve the customer experience. And that's really what it's about, taking care of those repetitive and time-consuming tasks while optimizing security, allowing banking operations teams to focus on that point that truly matters, serving those customers better. So how do we do it? Whether it's improved productivity and efficiency by automating document printing, the ability to securely store customer data and reduce errors and wait times, the payment control aspect, giving the tellers and those associates the ability to void and unvoid checks and manage them through a detailed search criteria dashboard, which we will look at in further detail whenever I provide a demonstration. And staying on top of compliance, obviously, compliance with regulations in this space is very important. That said, with our product, we're able to provide users the ability to access reports on a variety of different activity, whether it be user, a specific type of document module, which again, we'll explain a little bit more later on what we mean by that, and sneak peek the type of document. So whether it be personal checks, loan coupons, money orders, so on and so forth. So a lot of good operational insights that can be accessed using our product. And then, bringing it back around to the inherent nature of it being a cloud-based solution, in terms of ease of use, definitely baked in. It's a simple cloud-based software that makes tellers' lives easier. The ability to print teller documents on demand, including customizable modules, like I had just mentioned, personal checks, deposit slips, cashier's checks, to name a few. And then the guidance and support. We pride ourselves on the ability to provide the necessary support and guidance, whether it be through the onboarding process, technical assistance. Our software solutions team is excellent, and certainly in this space for this type of product, very important in, over the long run in making tellers' jobs easier. So we need to back up a step and talk a little bit about the product story and specifically what the market conditions look like in the banking space. And more specifically, how banks are migrating to the cloud. So, when we think about how banks are addressing, some of the biggest technological challenges at the moment, data management, certainly a big deal. Managing and leveraging that data is crucial for growth, but that data management and being able to use it in an efficient way can be complex and resource intensive, especially whenever it comes to the quality of that data, the integration of it, security, compliance, and regulations, certainly. And, the efficient and effective management of that information really does hinder the ability of those institutions to leverage the information in meaningful ways, in informed ways, provide personalized services, which is very important these days, especially towards the younger crowds, the younger generations and demographics, and to optimize overall operations. Additionally, from the cybersecurity aspect of it, the financial sector, it's probably no surprise to this group that this sector is a prime target for cybersecurity attacks, including ransomware is probably the biggest, which can lead to data breaches, operational disruption, certainly financial losses, definitely. And importantly, whenever it comes back to the customer experience, the erosion of their trust, damaging the reputation of the bank or the institution, and so on. Lots of negative side effects or consequences associated with being a victim of a ransomware attack. And I guess to be clear, moving to the cloud, migrating these services to the cloud does not necessarily eliminate cyber threats. And in fact, one citation estimates that by 2025, on an annual basis, the cost of the victims that fall victim to these attacks is about 10.5 trillion. So it's not going away. The set of concerns are different, but due to the inherent nature of cloud hosting, there are certainly some benefits. And banks are prioritizing cloud technology generally. Again, in one way or another, I already mentioned the ability to gain customer insights and collecting and analyzing just vast amounts of data about customers, their behavior, preferences, even competitors and market trends. The ability to personalize services and offerings that make them more relevant and attractive. And in turn, again, looping back to the core theme here, enhancing customer satisfaction and loyalty. Additionally, by moving to the cloud, the reduction in friction, whenever it comes to legacy and deprecated software products, these types of products, can cause inefficiency and frustrate customers, which, that frustration and inefficiencies certainly can create friction and diminish the overall customer's experience. And at the end of the day, banks are constantly trying to adopt technologies, in most organizations generally, to attract quality customers. In terms of banking space, they're primarily looking to attract quality and long-term customers, which happen to be the most profitable customers. So yeah, that ability to leverage customer insight, within marketing efforts, these are all key reasons why, banks are prioritizing this cloud migration. Whenever it comes to empowering tellers to be more efficient, I mean, this is a very important topic. Similarly to the decline in checks, there's also a decline in the amount of tellers employed over time. That projection is estimated by the BLS to be about 15% between 2022 and 2032, not 2023, 2032. So, banks have to do more with less. That decline in teller positions can be attributed to automation and technological advancements, definitely, like a lot of industries, a lot of occupations. The introduction, or I guess the rise of self-service kiosks and mobile banking, all have reduced some need for traditional in-branch teller services. But, at the same time, the BLS is also reporting that there will still be openings over time. And again, coming back to, one of the first things I said, doing more with less, the role of tellers and related associates are going to shift more into more of a customer service, representative, advisory, technological support roles, with a strong focus on improving customer experience and adding value where possible. So while on the decline, these positions are still very important within these organizations, within these institutions. It's just, again, it's doing more with less. So, what percentage of banks' enterprise workloads are migrating? We don't have 2023 stats yet, but if we take a peek at 2021 and 22, you can see here, between the various enterprise workloads, the various main operational divisions within a banking or credit union type organization, where that movement is occurring. Collaboration office applications. I know for many of you on this call today, obviously many of your applications are moving to cloud, like Microsoft 365, CRM, and collaboration type applications. Most of those things are certainly migrating to cloud hosted products. For IT department and operations specifically, and I key in on here because this is really where the teller function and those associated workflows are really concentrated, which, again, between 2022, about 36% of the surveyed respondents in this in Accenture study had moved their IT department and operations functions to the cloud. And really, this is the area where, or the function that enables banks to operate more efficiently and flexibly. And, moving these these functions of the cloud allow for rapid scaling, especially with the IT, focusing on the IT aspect, at the rapid scaling of those resources up and down based on demand. Banking, credit unions, the financial sector, their demand can be very seasonal, and so that ability to adapt and be flexible and agile is certainly important. If we key in specifically on data and analytics workloads migrated to the cloud over those that period of time, you can see, migrating data analytics workloads to the cloud empowers those data-driven decision-making possibilities, or advances it, of course. And the inherent flexibility associated with cloud-based tools and platforms for data processing, visualization capabilities, yeah, absolutely. And then the cost reduction and resource optimization. Using a cloud-based model, banks can shift from CapEx to OpEx models, which means they only need to pay for resources consumed, minimizing those large upfront investments in hardware that not only is expensive upfront, but expensive to maintain over time, especially with how rapidly both technology, regulations, a variety of things are advancing and changing over time. And the OpEx models provide better predictability, since these types of organizations that adopt cloud-based systems know what their recurring expenses will be over time, so they can better prepare and predict and forecast. And not to mention the advantages in compliance. With data privacy, a big topic these days, those considerations. The bank-grown or homegrown software-hosted solutions may require, expensive and rigorous certifications over time, which, again, like I mentioned, these types of things, RegTech are continuously and advancing and accelerating in that way as well. Excuse me. Okay, so that gives us kind of an idea of what's happening in the banking software space. The migration to the cloud, it's happening over time. And certainly in the specific area of the IT department and operations, the teller function, more and more of that is going to migrate here over time. So let's switch gears. Product story. Let's think about some target use cases for AssurePay Teller, the cloud deployment specifically. So scalability and cost savings. If we think about some of the challenges here, let's think about a situation customer base has grown significantly, which certainly increases check transaction volumes. Those legacy on-premises systems struggle, and in some cases can struggle to handle that print load, and those inefficiency errors, they can lead to frustrated customers. And again, coming back to the decline in overall teller employment, that situation only compounds these types of challenges. We think about the AssurePay solution, it being a cloud-based product, the scalability, the ability to implement automation, the ease of use aspect of it. Those are specific ways that we can help overcome some of these issues with AssurePay Teller of a growing customer base or a seasonal customer base or seasonal demand. If we think about accessibility and what that means in terms of customer experience enhancements, challenges here, access to legacy on-prem software, those are typically tied to specific machines, dependent on specific devices, and over time, and again, especially given the rapid development of technology, it can be expected. Well, I guess it is the unexpected downtime due to operating system updates, so on and so forth, that really can make this situation a challenge and difficult to efficiently fulfill customer requests and maintain customer satisfaction. With the AssurePay solution, the product can be accessed virtually on anywhere. Now, that said, most tellers will reside within a brick and mortar facility, but they're not tied to specific machines that could potentially, if they are not maintained over time, or if there is a synchronization or an integration issue over time due to an operating system update, that certainly provides an inherent benefit. Our product is cloud hosted. It can be accessed in the web browser. It is not dependent on operating system or an update, which with our product, in terms of reliability, 99.7% uptime. And over the past 6 months, and this goes, AssurePay generally, the cloud platform has a 100% uptime. So it's, while we guarantee a 99.7% uptime, the actual performance has been much better. And then the cloud software, is inherently always up to date. Those updates are pushed over the air. There's no internal IT department intervention to, patch bug fixes or maintain the version of the product over time. Security and compliance, this is certainly a big deal. The challenges here, the security of the personally identifiable financial information and PII stored on on-premises these physical infrastructures, the cyber threats associated with, the physical part, not only the cyber part or the digital part, but the physical part. These can be expensive. These situations can be very expensive to maintain. And that being said, in certain cases, due to changing regulations, there could be a struggle to keep up with such changes. With the AssurePay solution, we provide a robust security stack, whether it be encryption over HTTPS, MFA, or multi-factor authentication, SSO, single sign-on. Those two can overlap to provide a really robust authentication and sign-on process, and continuous security updates. Again, our product is maintained continuously, and those updates pushed out over the air over time. And again, minimizing the intervention of internal IT groups to continuously maintain those legacy and on-premise products, and all in an attempt to make sure that these institutions are compliant with the latest regulations through, the cloud hosting provider or the identity as a service provider, our providers. They're always up to date on the latest necessary certifications and regulations. And not to mention, the disaster recovery portion of this equation. With our product, we have a comprehensive disaster recovery plan and program in place to prevent from those physical, natural, cyber disasters with a quick recovery time, and thus preserving business continuity and the trust of its customer base. And finally, the competitive advantage portion of this use case discussion in a changing market. Like most markets these days, due to technological advancements and so on, it's rapidly changing. And thus, the challenges here, especially with brick and mortar banks facing fierce competition from direct competitors, other banks, as well as indirect and substitute products, the online products, the mobile banking, self-serve kiosks. Not necessary, and I do want to say, that not necessarily that these institutions aren't also providing these services, but there are mobile banking applications and online banking alternatives over time that aren't, they are solely those types of products, those competitive products that serve as competition to brick and mortar banks. I digress. And the on-premises software within those brick and mortar banks, that limits the ability to adapt to customer preferences and trends in a way, just due to the inherent nature of maintaining and upgrading on-premises software over time. With the AssurePay solution, again, because it's a cloud-based product, the ability to quickly adapt to new features and functionality. We're constantly innovating and updating our products to meet expectations and exceed expectations, and to adapt and adjust with a rapidly changing market. All in which to allow banks and financial institutions to innovate and offer modern banking services that align with the demands and expectations of their customers. And that was a mouthful. So now we're going to switch gears just a little bit. I'm going to back out of a slide mode, and I'm going to go directly into our product demonstration. So give me one moment, if you will. Okay, so let's start out with some kind of a housekeeping item in a way. The AssurePay Teller, we provide lots of possibilities and customization options within the platform. That being said, we do provide a comprehensive set of configuration tools. Now, those configuration tools, as you can see here, the configuration menu, quite a variety of different options, and those configuration tools are typically only visible to account admins. Now, depending on what the user's what user permissions and rules look like within a given organization, maybe some of these configuration possibilities are available. Nonetheless, our team, our software solutions support team, provides the onboarding easy button, if you will, for pre-configuration of the admin views and the user roles to meet the customer, the deployment requirements. So again, housekeeping, getting the configuration set out of the way. If we went into each individual option, we could be here all day, and we value your time. So we wanted to focus on the core features, which, as you can see up here in the menu bar, on the left-hand side, personal banker, void checks, reports, and help and support. And I'm zooming in just a little bit because I kind of feel like it might be very small text for the audience. So let's make an adjustment there. So yeah, personal banker, void checks, reports, help and support. Starting with the personal banker, this is really where tellers and those associates will spend most of their time. This is where the template modules will appear depending on the document printing requirements of the customer. In this example, we have cashier's checks, loan coupons, personal checks, but there are many more possibilities, money orders, so on and so forth. And of course, those are loaded in on an as-needed basis, on a purchasable basis. We offer this product as a modular solution so that these things can be added and subtracted as needed. That being said, one specific module that I wanted to focus on were the personal checks and how this relates to the on-demand printing nature of or capabilities of AssurePay Teller. And so first and foremost, from an automation standpoint, if we were to onboard a new customer, or I guess in printing a personal check on demand for a new customer, Teller needs to pre-populate this information. That being said, after that customer information and those attributes have been loaded, moving forward, that information is already stored in the customer database, and should those customers need to print any additional documents, many of those fields will be pre-populated by a simple customer search widget. So in this case, our hypothetical Claire Jones, all of her information pre-populated, and helping to automate the system and reducing the errors and improving accuracy of entering this type of information. But the automation aspect, absolutely. But I wanted to talk about an advantage another type of advantage in, using kind of a hypothetical situation. So starter checks, personal checks, temporary checks, they're really synonymous. That being said, traditionally tellers would have to, or the customer would have to manually handwrite personal information onto those types of checks, either the name and the address or both. And that's certainly, that requirement to manually record that information or handwrite that information is definitely not only kind of frustrating in my opinion, but also, time consuming and really kind of a turnoff. But, there are also those security concerns with going about business that way. Or those traditionally printed checks without the personal information also typically have are printed with low check numbers. And in that way, it's kind of an indicator to a bank, or I guess there's a higher propensity for a bank to reject those lower check numbers, because that is an indication to those banks that, okay, the customer is new, a higher rate of bouncing just because those initial deposits into that new account hasn't been established yet or hasn't been cleared. And so, it's just setting up new customers up for a potentially negative experience, whereas the ability to for tellers to pre-populate the address, the name, those personal pieces of information, as well as adjust the check number to a higher number, something that is a little bit, well, isn't 1 or 2 or 3, and that just eases the friction, the potential friction that is possible from legitimate new customers that have already cleared their initial deposit requirements and so on. So that ability to print on demand, the pre-population of the personal information, the ability to adjust the different attributes of a check to minimize the possibilities of rejection and increasing friction. I mean, those are also all definite benefits of the on-demand function. Okay, yeah, so personal banker, a lot of magic happens here, but we won't dive too far into the other modules because again, we'll be here all day and we value your time. Voiding checks. Like I mentioned earlier on, the ability to control payments, whether to void or unvoid checks, and manage them through a detailed search criteria dashboard. You can see there are a variety of different options from date range to form type. In this case, we've only demonstrated the printing of a cashier's check. Otherwise, the different types of modules, form modules, the personal loan coupon, those would appear here if there were any instances or history of that type of form being printed. The branch, we only have one branch, but any branch that this cloud deployment of Teller is being used, you can access whichever branch that might be. And then the user, of course, we can sort by the user, check number, a variety of different search criteria to quickly navigate to the check or the document that needs to be voided or unvoided. The reports function, in terms of maintaining an accurate audit trail, depending on the user role or the user permissions would dictate what a user has access to in terms of, or whether it be, a specific personal banker module, user activity, configuration activity. Nonetheless, this reporting function provides tellers, provides its administrators the ability to access the reports and export reports on a variety of different operational insights using this intuitive dashboard. And finally, certainly worth mentioning, the help and support. I consider this a core feature. It's not really, but a core component of the software. We want to make it as easy as possible for tellers and associated representatives to quickly find the support that they need. And again, we have a great support team at Troy available, live assistance available by telephone with an operation, a specific set of operation hours, of course, or an email, and as well as a link to our website where you can submit a support ticket in another way. And then some details here within the help and support for the print client application, which enables our product to talk to a branch printer and print those teller documents. So that being said, that more or less ends the level of detail that I think we should get into today regarding our product, the demonstration of it. We would love the opportunity to set up a more dedicated time with anybody who is interested in a demonstration and to talk to more about our experts about the product. And so, kind of wrapping up, or summarizing, some of the key insights here that, we talked about here today. The market focus, yes, the banks and credit unions are prioritizing move to the cloud. It's taking time. There are, other hurdles that, have contributed to that slower migration, I should say, but it's happening, as evidenced by some of the statistics that we reviewed here today. And really the motivators, in one form or fashion, we mentioned data management and the ability to leverage that information to make informed decisions and understand, competition, customer demand, market trends, and so on. The cybersecurity concerns, the ability to continuously, maintain and update software in compliance with those continuously changing regulations, reducing costs by going to an OpEx model and have better predictability over time, and ultimately improving customer experience. Again, going around town, bringing it back to what's most important is improving customer experience. Our solution, AssurePay Teller, which provides the enhanced customer experience, improves productivity and efficiency, reduces errors, and improves accuracy, allows or enables the banks and credit unions to scale and minimize costs. The robust security and compliance nature, those inherent capabilities, and the ability to adapt to in a changing market. These are all reasons why our solution, the AssurePay Teller solution, is the optimal solution, at least for this particular function within these types of institutions. That being said, that more or less, concludes, what we have to share with the group today. Again, should you have any questions outside of the webinar, we have a great team of experts that would be more than happy to talk with you more about the product and how it might, solve some problems for your organization, as well as discuss, what the process is for getting the ball rolling. So again, a great team of experts that can help answer any additional questions. But Eric, I think we want to open up to the floor at this time.
Well, thank you, Bob. Great presentation and a great overview of AssurePay Teller. Before we jump into questions, I do have a question for you. What is the best way if someone's interested to get a demo of AssurePay Teller?
So the best way to get a demonstration, first and foremost, is going to our website. We provide a variety of points in which a customer can, or somebody interested can request a demonstration. And that's directly through troygroup.com. You'll just have to drop down through the products menu and key in on AssurePay Teller. But nonetheless, simply go by going to the troygroup.com website. You can request a demonstration that way and really kick off and get the ball rolling.
Well, thank you. Kicking you off, here's a two-part question for you. How does this software simplify the process of printing teller documents for bank employees? And the second part is what benefits it brings to the overall banking experience?
Yeah, I think that's a great question and really kind of summarizes the webinar here today. So, our cloud-based software was designed with bank tellers in mind, specifically to streamline those processes and specifically with printing teller documents. I'd say to enable them to access and print, those necessary documents on demand from any device. With the on-premises, those legacy solutions, those legacy software deployments really are a hindrance in many ways. With our cloud deployments, these are certainly areas that we kept in mind. And to answer the second part of your question, the convenience. This convenience saves time. Quite honestly, that's really one of the key points. It allows tellers to be, I guess, more efficient, ensures that they have the most up-to-date and accurate docs at their fingertips, at their disposal, which ultimately enhances the customer service that a bank or a credit union can provide, reduces errors, and improve customer satisfaction and their experience. I think that is probably a good two-part answer to your two-part question. So I appreciate that one.
Thank you so much. We were getting a couple of questions on the AssurePay product family around the AssurePay Teller and checks. Someone was asking, does the AssurePay check, does this replace the current products and services, or is this a new product? Could you talk a little bit about the entire AssurePay family briefly, and what's the difference between check and teller is?
Yeah, absolutely, and that's a great question. So those of you who might be familiar with the sister product, the AssurePay check product, which basically, similar to Teller, AssurePay check consists of a legacy on-premises product as well as a cloud deployment. That product is basically for mid to large size organizations that want to print payroll checks, for example, or estimations of benefits. So on and so forth. It's a different market. It's a similar platform. They look very close, but some of those core features and functionality are purpose built to those specific use cases or those specific users.
And a question too about the product being cloud-based. Will the on-prem product still be available?
Yes, it will. And we understand that there are just certain scenarios where the on-premises deployment is desirable, whether it be that's simply the long-term strategic direction of an IT group within a bank or a credit union, or these types of organizations are just simply taking a bit more time to make the move, but have that in their long-term plan. So we will continue to offer that on-premises deployment, with the caveat that we are expecting to sunset that deployment over the next 3 to 4 years. So we certainly encourage, for the variety of benefits and trends that we reviewed here today, to consider a cloud-based deployment. We understand that there are certain scenarios and models that require an on-premises solution. So we definitely want to keep that available to our customers.
Thank you, Bob. Another question comes with the context of what banks can use this. Is this product just used for banks in the United States, or can it be used for other banks, such as like banks in Africa?
So this product is currently available for North American customers and institutions. So the U.S. and Canada, um, as it is right now, those are the two regions or the two countries that AssurePay Teller is currently available for.
Okay. That's all. I know we're coming up to time today, Bob, but I just want to give you another thanks so much for a great presentation. I just want everyone listening today to be on the lookout for a brief survey coming into your inboxes, so we can learn how we can improve and what you liked for this webinar. Bob did a great job, and there's some questions too on the recording. Yes, this webinar was recorded, and it will be available on demand hopefully later today. But again, Bob, thank you so much. Great job, and great job kicking off the Innovative Insights series. You set the bar high.
Absolutely, Eric. Thank you to the audience as well. As it was a pleasure to talk about this topic. And likewise, our experts are excited and happy to have conversations with you and are ready to really get this product into the hands of these banks and credit unions that need it to be able to keep up with technological advancements and market trends. So yeah, again, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to kick things off and look forward to talking to some of you soon here over the next couple months.
Perfect. Hey, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your Thursday. Bye-bye.
Take care. Thank you.